was trying to log in.
Paulette.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, man.
That's it.
Paulette and Marvin.
And Marvin. All right, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, man. We learn some here. I'm live. All right. I have some members from the UIC who they called me from yesterday and they want to rebut some things. I want to hear for them side anyway. So you know what, allow everyone to come speak. How you doing? How you doing? How you people doing? How you guys doing?
Yo, great. Great, Mr. Lodson. Great.
I'm
All right.
well.
So you heard from Mr. Patterson yesterday, right? Because see someone tried to come up here.
Okay.
Tommy, you need to yes, the mic. All right, good. Okay, good. All right. All right, who's gonna start first? Because Mr. Patterson come and explain what's going on in the UIC. Who's going to start first and explain to us, what really taking place there?
Let me start first because there is a notion stating of a coup.
Yes.
From our end, we can't be a coup because the truth of the matter is we are the elected members of the UIC. I don't know what is going on. I hope that you see my face.
No, I'm not seeing your face, but I can hear you. Can talk to you.
Okay.
You have to just
Okay.
feedback your camera, but it's okay. Can talk.
Yeah, man. All right. So we are the elected member of the UIC, and what persons don't understand is that the members within the UIC a few weeks ago, we had an annual members committee meeting where the members go there and they'll actually vote for the persons you see in the NEC now. You hear Mr. Patterson talking about the NEC.
Yes.
Right. So the NEC is a National Executive Council within the UIC. And these are the individuals who are the executive body of the UIC. So when you say that there's a coup, I don't see how we have a coup with our names being called and we were duly elected. However, it's unfortunate how this came into the media because the UIC to me is the hope of the Jamaican people. I'm going to tell it that straight up. That is my view.
Yes.
If anyone knows me or understand that, I would have given my all for the UIC. And any question you want to ask Mr. Lonesome in that direct, I will answer it.
No problem.
But
just
in the circumstances, let's get to the meat of the matter.
Yes.
I forward to you personally just a while ago because I believe in empirical evidence. I'm not here to bash anyone. I forward to you to your phone.
Yes.
You see legitimate emails.
Yes.
Attached to a press release.
Yes.
I also sent you a picture of you see phone channels like a WhatsApp groups.
Yes.
And for yourself, you see where you see Mr. Joseph L. Patterson removed you. You saw them coming down, all of them down. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw them. Yeah.
All right. There's another picture that I sent to you too, which is a Snapchat, where you see Mr. L. Patterson removed himself. And at the top of that picture you see the word L2. Did you see it? Like the name of that web page is L2. Our WhatsApp group is L2. You saw that, right?
All right. Yes. I'm just running through a couple of them. I run through a couple of them. So I saw that. Yeah.
All right. That is a coup you're talking about right there. That's what he's saying. So let me just tell you what is happening. A few days ago, the NEC was in a position where we were asked by Mr. Patterson to give him $4 million based on the fact that he had lost a position when he resigned from a company that he had. Now, be reminded, I am probably one of the eldest member on the NEC. A lot of the persons you hear him accusing are persons that would have just joined. Right? And I know Mr. Patterson. I work alongside Mr. Patterson. When I joined the UIC, there was only 4 council candidates. 4. And I was offered a job by Mr. Patterson to be the operations manager for an outside entity which Mr. Patterson's have called the JUMP program. This program is supposed to allow persons to join through membership by paying dues. However, the head of that JUMP program would be the council candidates within the UIC. Because you can't be doing any form of monetary or business activities within the UIC because it will be illegal. So the JUMP program is external. That's what I got paid for. And I will say right now on the air, I got $50,000 just to do that each month. I told Mr. Patterson, sir, I don't want to work that way because if I work for just the JUMP program, it's not going to assist the UIC because we need to develop the UIC. So I started gathering council candidates. I am the one who interviewed all the council candidates that are now in the UIC from the 4. I have brought them up to 214 eligible council candidates, but 105 confirmed council candidates. I have walked the length and breadth of this island for UIC. When we had the marches, I was the one who assisted on the marches in Maypen. I led the march in Maypen. I led the march in Mandeville, as he's saying. And when Mr. Patterson got arrested, I was the one, when everybody wanted to burn down Kingston because they were upset, which we were, I was the one who led the entire march up to Hero Circle, spoke to them, allowed them to leave in peace, not destroying anything because it would destroy the movement. I have been on tours throughout this island, in every parish, with Mr. Patterson. I have left on my own. For example, Hanover, that never had any council candidate. I took the time out and I went there to gather the council candidates for Hanover, getting seven of the divisions, but only about 5 is there now. So I'm giving a background on that to say, why in hell, why in the name of God, we would just get up and form a coup on Mr. Patterson, a person who we care about, we respect, what we do, we would do anything for him. Why? Mr. Patterson allowed us Jamaicans who never had a hope to have hope. He designed the UIC. But let me tell you, under Mr. Patterson's tutelage, he clearly stated to me that one of his dreams is to see the UIC come to fruition where he could retire and allow to see someone else there. Because the UIC is not for a person, but for the people. If you understand the constitution of the UIC and how the UIC is developed, once we win election and the people agree for us to change the constitution, we, the UIC, will be no more. The people like you, Lonesome, will control Jamaica, basically. The people are the people who are the council candidates in the division will have more talk within their division. The constituency leaders will have more power. The parish managers will have more power. That's what it's about.
What you say now is power for the people. Power for the people, right? You give the people them power, right? Okay, all right. Continue.
Right. So this is, I am saying to you, you know, when you hear him talk about Marlon is leading this, it's because Mr. Patterson I know everything about the UIC. And I love my fellow Uniters because they're not here to bash the UIC. While Mr. Patterson is just talking and disrespecting us, we're not going to do that because we want the UIC to be eligible. But, Mr. Lonesome, truth is truth. You are attached to the UIC because it clearly states that it will not disrespect the Jamaican people and you'll be for right. No force, no fraud. You can't force people, no fraud. The most important part of the UIC is the person. You, Mr. Lonesome, you're the nucleus of the UIC. Everything in the Constitution builds from the person, not the individual that runs the organization. Now, Mr. Patterson is the one who designs that. With other past members, I am just learning because I would have been taught of some of the past situations. So it clearly states that the NEC, everything has to go to the NEC for it to be approved. Because if Mr. Patterson, who's the president, has this God-like power to just choose, do anything that he wants to do, it's going to seem like a dictatorship, right? Am I right?
We're not going to go that strong. That's why.
No. I'm not saying him, you know. Well, I'm Mr. Lonesome. I never said him, you know. Okay. No, him, you know. No, I would never dare do that. I would never dare do that. I'm saying to you, with a person who has that power, it would be a dictator. So Mr. Patterson designs the NEC to quell that.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? He himself designed that. So I'm saying to you, when you speak about us, the NEC members, we're the ones who have to come collectively because it's called United Independent Thinkers Congress, meaning we have to put things around the round table, come together, have an agreement on it before it can be moved forward.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Right. So when I said something about dictate, I'm not saying Mr. Patterson. I would never dare do that. I am saying to you, he made it that way. Okay. We just had the AMC meeting and I spoke to Mr. Patterson and I said to Mr. Patterson, I am the director of recruitment and I'm also the director of programs. I said to him, sir, the UIC is growing. We need to develop the NEC and the UIC's body. We need to stop saying it like it's an inkling, it's a baby, stuff like that. The UIC has no 100 odd council candidates. We have about 50 odd quote unquote acting MPs. So it's growing. He cannot control so many. The list that I just gave to you, there's 41 WhatsApp group. There's no way Mr. Patterson can control that, right? So he himself agreed. No, the NEC was being formalized. And these are the members you're seeing in front of you now. I am a director. Howard is a director. Matter of fact, Howard is also a minister of finance, a shadow minister. You have other individuals that's in the NEC, which is a total of about 13 of us, 12 to 13 of us, who was duly elected by the people. No. A few weeks ago, a question was posed to us. Our situation was posed to us where we were told that Mr. Patterson would want $4 million. The UIC does not have $4 million. And the $4 million that he stated that he wanted was $4 million that he would have gained if he was still a part of the company that he resigned from. But because he was arrested, he said that he had to resign. We had a conversation and we clearly stated to him, sir, we cannot pay you retroactively. It would not look good for the UIC. We're going to be doing audits. We have to answer to the Jamaican public. And the number one thing in the UIC is this. It's a voluntary organization. We do not give donations to council candidates to do anything. Not buy flyers, nothing. If we're keeping a program, yes.
Hold on a minute though. You said donation, but that wouldn't be a donation, that would be a stipend, right? A stipend, right?
No. No, it can't be a stipend. Stipend is you being, for example, I am doing something and I go and I use gas, or I'm using my phone. That would be a stipend.
So tell me something. So you don't use all these things? I understand, but him say, all right, him have some other companies, some other things, and might lose some money over the decades, right? And he just put it on the table and said, oh, I have to, because it drying him out. Okay? Because
no, that's let me tell you something, Mr. Lonesome. I am not the one who cut corners, and I don't lie, and I don't do anything wrong. That's not the way it was proposed. It was not proposed that way. No, sir. No, sir. I'm not going to go into details within the NEC.
It's a donation, but you know, when I talk to him, it's a donation.
No, I'm not talking about Mr. Patterson or Mr. Lonesome. I said the council candidates. For example, if you say Mr. Lonesome, I run for Portmore. You see the monies that's coming into the donation from overseas and the members paying their $1,000 contribution per month. The UIC don't give you nothing. We tell you, the council candidate, for go run some fundraising thing, or go take the money out of your pocket for go buy flyers and things like that. If Mr. Patterson comes and he buys flyers, or we rent a bus, or we run a program for food, because I am the one who deals with those. We collect all receipts, and if Mr. Patterson uses credit card or his cash, he's remunerated. He's giving back the money. He's recouped. So he doesn't lose any money. You get what I'm saying?
So you're telling me now, those money that he spend, he always recoup it. He always
get it back. Okay. Yes. Right. So now, what we're saying is that a few months ago, he had announced that we got $6 million.
Marlon, let me cut in real quick. So I just need to make a correction, because we're not going to stay here and try to make Mr. Patterson look too bad. He does get reimbursement to the extent that money is in the account, but he will front money to the UIC, and then as money comes in, he'll get reimbursement. So sometimes, but we're not saying he gets reimbursed all the time, because it could be out there where if the money's not in the kitty, then he doesn't get it. But once it comes in, he gets it. It's not like he gets it right away as he puts it in.
Because he tell me something like that. Someone want to understand that.
Yeah, man, and thank you very much, Howard, for that, for the correction. Yes, I stand corrected. Good. Right. But you get the idea that if he does something, we recoup him, if you understand.
That's why, you know, Howard come and tell me. And
man. Right. Right.
We want to get it clear now. We don't want to miss.
Yeah, man. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. No problem with that, man. So the issue is now it's a party where the individuals have to basically fund themselves, right? And that's where the big problem comes in. Now, $6 million was announced by Mr. Patterson a few months ago, stating that we had 544 donors, and we must have got $6 million or something like that. Once that happened, all the council candidates, well, not all, but a lot of the council candidates kept reaching out now, saying, boy, we make so much money. If we can't get a little, money for buy flyers and things like that, of course, I'm going to send them to the treasurer, because he's the one who's in charge of that. But most of the times I have to say, no, we're unable to, because you know that it's a volunteer situation. Now to the meat of the matter. We're in the meeting and Mr. Patterson asked for $4 million to be recouped. We said, no, we're unable to do that. Howard came up with a brilliant idea and say we could give you a stipend moving forward. Now, this was said a meeting prior. The following meeting, Mr. Patterson came with his thing laid out, saying that I'm going to get an increase. Another young lady who was supposed to be hired, we're going to hire her and try to pay her a certain amount. And Mr. Patterson and his wife is supposed to get a certain, I don't want to, what's the number? 300,000, something like that, Howard, if I'm not mistaken.
334,000 a month, 167,000 each.
Per month. We never denied him. We decided that we're going to.
His wife, right? Him and his wife.
Yes.
Each, okay.
Right. Okay. And when we did the calculation, it's still the same $4 million that he was asking for. We never said no. So Howard went into the books And he came out and he posted, he sent things through email. We talked in meetings to show exactly how much money the UIC was making. And what we did, we realized that based on how it would look, because one of the arguments with all of us as council candidates, all of us as NEC members, is that if we pay Mr. Patterson, it's going to look away because we're unable to give other individuals funds towards their own campaign. We don't have any money to assist them for EOJ, all those type of things. So those were the conversations that we were having. And it was a unanimous decision. Well, one person decided that no, he should get it. And 8 persons said no, he shouldn't. Because one
Just repeat back something that you have said. If you give him money, if you give him the money that he requested, other council candidates would want some money also.
Let me clarify that. Let me clarify that.
Yes.
Let me clarify that. The issue really is the fact that we have councillor candidates who gives monthly donations, right?
Mm-hmm.
They work on their campaign independently of getting funding from the UIC.
Mm-hmm.
They're canvassing, they're walking. Sometimes some of them even buy little care packages for the Jamaican people, even though we're told not to do that, which is fine. So what it would look like now, they're the ones putting in the money on a monthly basis, and we're telling them, we can't help you. But then we can find all this money to give to Mr. Patterson, because Mr. Patterson tells us we need to tell them it's a volunteer organization. Then as such, they have to find their own thing. So we're saying, okay, it's a volunteer organization. How does it look if we're giving you this money on a monthly basis, but we can't help the Jamaican people who the UIC was created to help to fund their campaign? It didn't seem fair. So what I did.
Well, I know. So who come up with the 167,000 per month?
Per person?
That was you?
No, Mr. Patterson.
See, that's the issue.
Who asked for the 4 million? Just get me.
Mr. Patterson asked for the 4 million.
Mr. Patterson.
He decided how much money he wanted. And we're saying we got to look at the books to see. We have to look at the books to see how much we had. And we said, look, we didn't even say we're not going to give him. We started negotiating to find out a middle ground that he should get something. Mark you, we didn't say no. We say, okay, let's defer it until we get enough money to pay Mr. Patterson. And to be fair, Mr. Patterson did say, look, I want 167,000, one for me, one for my wife. If the money is not in the account, you don't have to pay me. He did say that.
Okay, that is true. Because I say to this, I want you, because when you hear something like ask back, repeat.
Yeah, man.
No, man, that is true. Yes, I have nothing to hide.
If that means it's not all the time the UIC might have the money. So, so you don't, okay, we don't have the money, so we don't have to give him what we do have it. Him now.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Good suggestion. Okay, continue.
No,
All
that's
right.
true. Let me just chime in a little bit, Marlon. So, and that's right. But we said as an NEC body, okay, you're saying if there's no money in the account, it's fine. But we also have to say, look, in order to be an organization that flourishes, we need to have a minimum in the account where we cannot go below because there might be emergencies. We can't just keep paying Mr. Patterson just like that. We had no issue paying Mr. Patterson.
If you have the money.
Right.
So
if we have the money.
1 month, 2, 3 months, him don't mind. But when you have it, him say you can do it. So if we use the word too.
Yes,
okay.
Right. And then one of my questions is as an accountant is, okay, so if we don't have it for 1 or 2 months, and then
does
2 or 3
it add
months
up
down the road, do we accumulate what was not paid to give to you? So we have to be rational about it. And I believe he said no. So I'm not going to try to be unfair to Mr. Patterson.
No, but you asking that? You said that in the meeting?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Of course.
Yeah, man.
What was the answer to that?
The answer was
go ahead.
The answer was, like I said, he made the suggestion when we had asked him. We said, sir, if we're unable to pay you, we have a problem with that. He said, no, fine. So that's good. We don't have no qualms with that. That's fine. Right? When we decided no, and we looked into the books, there was no way we were able to pay him immediately. We had a walk that was coming up. And we said we were going to wait until to see how much money is generated from the walk. And then we could look into it and then start to pay Mr. Patterson. So everybody agreed, said, okay, let's wait until after the walk. That was a consensus.
Okay.
We went to Mr. Patterson. We explained everything. And he never liked the fact that we had voted not to give it to him. In the middle of the night, as you see in front of you, an email came telling us that he resigns. Stipulated everything that's right in front of you. It's public knowledge now, where he resigned. And we have until the 21st to come and basically get everything.
Sorry, Wayne, you can pull up that, Wayne?
Yes,
we can't pull it up.
No, you can't put it up now because we have to do it before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. No, you're there. You can see it, so you can have it. So, yeah, man. All right, respect. So then he said, okay. So him say, we come take everything basically. He doesn't want. He's done. He's tired. No, he took such a time to write it. I really, it cracked my brain, brother. When you read the message, he's tired. His wife is tired. He needs to spend time. He's done. It was never, if you read that message versus a conversation we're having, it would have never seemed like it was based on the money.
No, hold on, Marlon. Wayne, can you read that message?
No, man, hold on. I am talking from my perception. From my perception.
Yes.
It was never seeming like it was the money.
Yes.
So we the NEC, who we were taken aback. So we had a meeting with him, and we were talking. The meeting was for the resignation, and he said he feels like we don't worthy him and anything like that. And we had a confidence vote. We had a confidence vote because we were so shocked that he resigned. We had a confidence vote. And then in the confidence vote, we gave him the confidence vote. And if you look into the thing, it was 8-1-1. That means we were confident in him being the leader. Right? At the end of that meeting, when we thought it was done, it rallied right back to the money.
But let me say something. Let me say something. I gotta let Wayne know that we actually approved the money subsequent to the vote of confidence in him.
Yeah, we gave him the money.
Yes, but the fact that he saw only 4 people voted yes,
agreed,
4 abstention and 3 no. If you're abstaining, it seemed like, okay, you don't want to participate in this. So he took that as we were resolute in our decision to postpone the stipend. And he got angry and he said he resigned with immediate effect. So we
meaning hold on, Howard. I want you to hear this, Lonesome. Yeah. We gave him the money after all the effects that we had and what we were looking at. If this ever gets out to the public that we were paying him and not assisting a council candidate, it might be a problem for the UIC, looking like we look shady. We look like we were only giving the money to Mr. Patterson and not the council candidate. And because we never wanted to disrupt the party, we gave in and gave him the money. Mr. Patterson said,
tell me something. He actually gave the money, or you just approved to pay?
We approved it.
No,
just approved.
We approved, meaning that he would get it.
You approve. Some don't get no money.
Yeah, we approve, sir. Okay. We approve, sir. You're gonna get the 167 each.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we approve it. But in the approval, yeah. 4 approved, 4 never voted, and 3 said no. So because it wasn't this unanimous vote for him to get it, but he still got it.
And 3 said no. Okay.
Yeah. So him still get it because that's how the Congress works. So he got the money, and then in the night again, he re-resigned, which is the second letter that you saw. He said, we don't appreciate him resigned with immediate effect. And we need to collect this by this date. And he listed out from 1 to about 14 the things that we need to accomplish if you look into the letter.
Yes, I have it here. But tell me something. So it's 2 times he resigned. You say he resign again.
He
resigned. Here's the thing, Wayne. The first resignation was effective March 21, 2022. Okay, so we said, and he said he gave us time. And normally, if you resign, okay, 2 weeks fine to find people. And to me, a person leaving, we need at least a month to put stuff together. So we didn't take him up on that. So we had another meeting, right? And then the fact that he found out that only 4 people voted, even though the vote carried because it was 4-3, the abstention doesn't count. So it's 4-3, so he would have gotten the money.
Abstention.
He got the money.
Right, he would have got, no, he didn't get it. He would have gotten it because
he would have gotten the money because we agreed to give it to him.
Right.
Okay.
He then said a further resignation.
Let me finish.
No, but we want to make, because a lot of people watching, so we just want to make it clear. You pass it to pay him the money, but he don't cut the money. It passed to pay him the money, right?
No, we passed it to pay him, and then he said, you know what? I don't want it anymore. The fact that he didn't get the unanimous vote, I think he was looking for. And I don't want to say, okay, that's what he said, but that's what it appears to be. He said it. No,
let me say what he said. Let me say what he said, because he was on the meeting and he said, matter of fact, I don't want it. Me and Miss Patterson decided that we don't want it. It's okay. We don't bother want the money. Don't give us the money. It's okay. That was in the meeting. That was said there. He said, we don't want it. So we said, okay, all right then. So I guess I was looking at it that maybe you would have saw what we were talking about in regards to the fact of how the books were, how it would look. So we're like, okay, great, we're good. So we're thinking that everything is okay. In the middle of the night, he sent another letter. This letter now, if you look at the bottom, is said with immediate effect. No, you saw my name where he uses this tab of saying that Marlon asked him and he said he will resign, he will leave with immediate effect. Now listen to this. When we had the vote of confidence, it was said to you, Mr. Lonesome, that I cursed.
Yes.
You remember when you
asked me where that you cursed? Yeah.
Yes, I did. And I want to show you the type of person I am. Yes, I did. And here's the reason why I cursed. One of our members, the calmest, you would say, subtle member, asked Mr. Patterson, who is the communications, he is in charge of communications. He said, before we agreed to him getting the money, he said, sir, if we do agree to give you the money, and it's borne out by the Jamaican public or any other party that we're paying you and not giving the council candidates, what am I supposed to say? Mr. Patterson said, don't worry about it. We draft a letter to tell people. He said, no, sir. I'm talking about council candidates. And what am I actually, I mean, he was being torn that he has to agree with the money. Mr. Patterson looked at him and said, if you can't handle it, resign, quit. I was shocked. Correct. I then looked at Mr. Patterson and said, sir, if you want to get my vote of confidence, I'm going to ask you one thing. One thing I'm asking you. You just led us in a war, these are my words, in a war in Hell's Gate, meaning we're fighting for the Jamaican people and you are a leader. And you just resigned on us. Sir, if I give you my vote of confidence, do me one favor. He said, what's that, Marlon? I said, don't turn your back on the Jamaican people. Mr. Patterson said to me, quote unquote, you can ask me that. I'll do what I want. It's my choice. Simple.
That's correct.
That was what was raging in my head when he said that to me. Yeah. And the cursing, I'm just going to jump ahead a little bit now to just explain the curtain so I could just get this off my chest. We were in a Zoom meeting now with the council candidates and the man came on the screen. Now, this man, I know more than all of uno. Probably the only person would know that man more than me is Mistress Patterson. I do every and everything for the UIC. Every and everything. I am the driver, security guard. I do all programs. I do everything. Hence the reason why I said I'm the lynchman. Why? Because he knows I know all of his secrets. I had powers to do everything because I was the program director. I was the director of programs and recruiter. So when you see persons exiting group, he will ring me in my ear and that person go. But I'm going to leave that right there. So because of that, I see him crying fakely, lying to everybody about the NEC. I got mad and said, sir, you're an effing liar because you told me that you turn your back on the people. When I asked you not to for your vote of confidence, you're sitting there lying. And I said, stop it, sir, because he's the leader. We never wanted him. We never wanted him to be in such a situation. Do you understand?
Mm.
So that's the reason why I cursed. I cursed because of him telling the man, say for resign if him can't do it, and tell me, say, him not for worry about it if him want to turn him back on the Jamaican people. Anyway, when he did that resignation letter, we found out that this man is serious. Why? He sent the list of things to do and tell me, say, with immediate effect, him done work, if you read at the bottom of the letter, him done work with finances, him not do no operations, him not do no administration, nothing. Him a go take him time, go rebuild himself, him need to relax, him tired, him want to go build him company them back again. So we go with the UIC. Matter of fact, he'll give us 90 days to help us find new persons, put everybody in the order.
Marlon, why not you talk till Marlon come on, but Marlon just whoa.
That we had a meeting where we did. It was so true that we had a meeting that we decided that this man is true. We accept his resignation and start reaching out for persons such like Devon, who everyone knows to be the interim president, and other persons. And if we couldn't find a suitable person, we clearly stated that we're going to draft, as the Constitution say, an emergency AMC meeting for the persons who are in the UIC to elect the new president. None of us here is in that position. None. While we were doing.
So Devon on board right now? Oh, what? Devon is here?
Oh, Devon is not on board right now. Devon couldn't be.
He's not.
Yes,
he's not.
The reason why Devon couldn't do this thing is because Devon is in Canada, and yes, to be fair to Jamaican people, we need somebody out there up and down. And Devon said he couldn't do it based on that.
Okay.
You know, right. Devon was a competent person to lead.
Right. What we went to the minds of saying none of us can even hold the spot. We think Devon would be the greatest person to do that. You get what I'm saying to you, sir? So this is just us thinking. So we accepted the resignation and we said, fine, we have to do what we have to do. We're going to move on because it's a UIC. Mr. Patterson asked us to allow him to speak to the parish managers, speak to the council candidates in the L2 group so he can say what he has to say. Now, mind you, the Constitution clearly states, once you resign, once you're dismissed, once you leave as a council candidate, all of your powers or administration or you being a part of any group is immediately out. Because especially in the L2 group, because we have sensitive information. So we normally go in the group and exit you. We never did that to Mr. Patterson. We allowed Mr. Patterson to be there.
So who removed him as admin from the group?
No one. Look on your picture. Look on your phone.
Okay.
All right. So why I send that to you is this. Because I am the director of I'm the director of programs and administration. Mm-hmm. I am in all 41 groups in the UIC. So any message that prompts on any one of the group, my phone rings off the hook.
Yes, I'm hearing.
Early in the morning, I see my phone going off. So I jumped on my phone and I looked. And when I went in the group, all the NEC members who would have remained start losing their administrative privileges. Like Howard start losing admin power, Tanya, me, So I was like, what's going on? When I looked in the other group, it was happening. So I ran to the L2 group.
Marlon, let me correct that. I never lose administrative power. Remember, I left the group myself. The other people he was moving, I actually left the group. So he didn't remove me. I left all the groups.
No, I'm not.
Mr. Patterson said they move him and other people and the
right.
Yes.
Right. So Mr. Patterson was going in the groups, removing the admin powers from the current council candidates. I'm sorry, the current NEC members who had admin power.
But
so I'm saying,
so is Mr. Patterson not you? Is Mr. Patterson remove them? Because I heard
repeat.
I heard that it was you who moved them, not Mr. Mr. Patterson said you remove him and other members.
No. Listen what I'm saying to you. I'm going to explain that.
Okay.
When you saw, like I said, look on my phone, you see where Mr. Patterson is removing me.
Okay. Yes.
Mr. Patterson, it will only show my phone that I'm being removed, but in the other person's phone, it show that he's being removed. But I am looking at the group, watching the person's admin powers being removed.
Yeah, I see Mr. Patterson.
So the most serious group, which is a group where information is spread, is the L2 group. Why? The L2 group have all the confirmed council candidates. So I went into that group when I see him removing every other group. He's just getting rid of people. Remember, he resigned. He shouldn't be in the groups doing that. So I went in the group and I went to the L2 group alone and I removed his administrative power in the L2 group and was watching what he was doing. And I left the current executive members, which was only Tammy and Tanya in that group because Howard was not in that group. So I held on to that one group because that's where information is spread throughout the whole UIC. Mr. Patterson went to every other group and removed everyone. Okay. And I was saying, when he looked now, he realized that he was not admin of the L2 group. And he reached out to Tanya and was asking what was going on. He never even called me. And then he now started to go on social media saying that there's a coup.
Because we hear about moving him, we hear about the money. So all what I'm saying about the money and him explain, you people heard everything what him explained to us about the money and everything, right? And that was true, right?
I'm not hearing that. You're pretty low.
All right, I said him talk about the money that him asked you people for, and you agreed to give him some money and everything. Everything what Mr. Patterson said yesterday. It was true, but the coup.
No,
the coup wasn't true.
No. Nope.
Look, there was a coup. Wayne, let me say something. There was a coup. Now, if you have resigned your position and you're no longer the president of the UIC, and you go in because you have administrative privilege and start removing other people since you resign, who is doing the coup?
Okay,
the fact that Marlon held on to the L2 group, that's what annoyed him because he has been removing people from all the other groups. He just didn't get to the L2 group before Marlon took away his administrative privilege. Then he started to say, oh, there's a coup. It's no coup. He started the coup. He resigned.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you're asking about the coup, no, Mr. Patterson, hear what's funny. Mr. Patterson resigned. We accepted his resignation. He had a meeting at 6 p.m. with all the council candidates. The persons who were following him, the chairman, kept a special meeting with us and said, hey guys, you know what? I think we should do what is right. All of us resign. And then let Mr. Patterson choose who he wants. My words were, I accept your resignation. And then Miss Carlene Ramirez said she resigned. I accepted her resignation. Miss Jeanette resigned. We accepted hers. And then I said,
yes, I'm hearing.
I am not resigning. Why? If we resign entirely and Mr. Patterson chooses, that would not be fair because we were duly elected. If you choose to resign, that's fine with you. Mr. Patterson resigns. You guys decide that you want to resign. We'll keep it here. No problem. The 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, we start a 6 o'clock meeting. Mr. Patterson said what he had to say. He cried. He said he left. He's finished. He's done. He told everybody that in the meeting and he left. And by the following morning, he starts removing the NEC members. And then now, because he has connections to Mr. Lonesome and he has connections to all the various platforms, he goes now and creates and say that a coup. All this time, Mr. Patterson was there texting us, asking us to keep meetings with him, whilst out in social media saying that there's a coup.
Yep.
No, if there is a coup, Mr. Lonesome, why is it that we don't have access to the discussion group? We don't have access to L1. We don't have access to the UIC page. We don't have access to the Google Docs. We don't have access to Nation Builder. We don't have access to the bank accounts. We don't have access to the GS1 group. We don't have no access to any one of the parish groups. Clarendon, Manchester, all the groups that I would have assisted with Devon to create. We have no access. He has all access. I have access only to the L2 group, and yet you're saying that we have a coup. The man who resigns have access to every single thing in the UIC, and is coming out saying to people, don't worry, everything is good, everything is okay, when there are letters that he would have signed stating that he resigned repetitively and has access to every single part of the group except the L2. And the reason why he doesn't have, the reason why he's upset about the L2 is because the L2 are the persons that are there who are the listeners, the thinkers who want to know what is going on. Do you understand what I mean by? The L2 are the council candidates. Right.
So make I just ask you something. Any other members want to speak? Say something? You want to say something? What's your name again?
Marvin.
Marvin,
yes.
I'm here, the Marvin.
Okay, Marvin.
Apparently, right. I am the second ringleader.
Oh, okay.
Which everything took me by surprise. When I am almost sure that you watched the interviews that I did. I called you. You were the first person I called when I got.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to talk to you. So yes.
And yeah, I me cuss you out every day. Every day I cuss you because I say, yo, if you dep on the program and we not call me back.
Say it on the program now.
I wonder what. But anyways, it is kind of funny how I joined the movement. Yeah. And I'm going to do this quickly so that other persons, because there are other important people here who needs to let Jamaica know what has been happening. For instance, there's Paulette, who was one of the former treasurer, I believe, and vice president. Yes. Yes. And
that's correct.
And I believe she also was removed. She will tell her story. I don't know if she was removed, and I don't want to.
Yes.
Right. So it is. There's a trend about the person. It's not a present council. And we brought Paulette, and I'm not sure who else is here from previous administration or had administrative positions in the past. But Paulette is here as one of the other treasurers to show you, say, it's not a Howard problem. Because since evening we were on Unstoppable, and of course, there were many people in the chat saying that Howard is trying to be president and get rid of Howard. If it's no Patterson, is no movement. Now, Joseph Patterson is someone who, Regin, the man has a brain. Big so. And when me tell us, I respect him man in number. Marvin, Adrian, Edgar, I spoke highly of Joseph Patterson. Now, myself, I just came like August last year in the movement because I saw them in Maypen, Clarendon. But down Maypen, I'm going to market to buy some food. And when we come out at the front, because see one protest and go on, my body, my choice. I say, yo, how would that be? And I was excited because I was fed up of this whole fake, the big C. I don't want to talk about that because the more you talk about it, you get flagged that bad kind of thing.
All right.
So we're not going to do that for your program. Yeah, we want to hear more about Wayne. Now, Wayne, to be honest with you, and I'm going to show you. So that's how, and I just went into the protest with my food in my bag. I went in front of the camera, and there's this guy named Tyrone who was capturing images, and he must say, yo, it was just the other day, he was saying, yo, The first day, I said, I wonder which little red man is coming in video. I said, what is a youth to come from? I don't know him. Because that was me. I was just excited when that there was a movement that was willing to stand up against the bureaucracies and the dictatorship in this country. And knowing me, everybody across the world now supposed to know, say, me is a youth of burnout and righteousness. Me no ram. I left from the Bahamas and I had to run left my family over there because after the hurricane, I made a video that went viral that I could not stand to see how the Haitians and the Jamaicans were being treated. Yeah, and it went viral after I spoke up because I am a humanitarian. I love people. I love people more than myself. And sometimes people say to me, Marvin, you have to be careful. You can't give everybody money, so and you can't do. And I say me have money, but me don't like when a man tell me say them hungry way because me grew up and I know what hunger is. So when a man come to me, all we never gonna use it to buy coke. Me might analyze the situation. I mean, if you're gonna give a grand, me give you 3 bills. If me feel say me not think you're gonna do it with good purpose. But when I give, and anybody who know me can comment in the section right now, because all heap of people know me and know say me a real youth, very passionate, and always control. When me do my thing, me passionate about it. Joseph Patterson, I spoke highly of the man. You know why? It's the first me saw a man with such a level of education and determination to go against the system. At one time, I said, boy, this man was a madman still, because we go up against them people. But I liked it. I admired it. And because of that, this is the reason why so many persons have followed him now. And so many people want to find me and Marlon and the Howards to kill me. Because they must say, yo, Joseph, so not try to over the thing. But they, only know the Joseph will come on TV and talk. The fluent, eloquent person. See me and live with me are 2 different sitting. We live with him because we have to deal with him every day. The truth is, I honestly did not have a problem with the man. Me never know so the man had a problem with me. Me never had a problem with Joseph. 3 weeks ago, I did an interview on Unstoppable, and I spoke profoundly to Jamaica about this man and confidence in his leadership, which for me to have come so public to tell Jamaica how this man is a powerful man and a best leader. What I did, it's not that I am not ambitious enough to want to be Jamaica's prime minister. Yeah? But I met somebody.
So you want to be the prime minister one of the day then?
No. Honestly, when I met Joseph Patterson, I decreased all my ambitions.
Oh, you decreased it. Oh, you didn't have the ambition. Well on, Marvin. So you have the ambition to think about being the prime minister, but you decreased that because
I had an ambition before UIC, long time, not to be prime minister, but to see things all right. And then when we realized that there's no movement, there's nothing in the country, I went on a program and where I said I would like to start my own movement. But then when I met the UIC, we relinquished all of that because we said, Jesus, then if them people share the same values when we had share and them are registered, then we don't need to do nothing more. I love the manifesto and I decreased and making man increase. I had nothing against Joseph Patterson. I love him man movement, the words, the way he spoke.
The way you love the movement, you decrease your thing and then make
everything we decrease because for me, I have always been a selfless person, very selfless. And I said to myself, I said, man, boy, this movement powerful. And I went to meetings in Hanover. I went to meetings in Spaldings, and when they saw who I was, when I got up and I would speak in the meetings, they can tell you, people would stand and applaud me when I would speak about how much I love the movement and what they're doing and how proud I was to be a part of it and to sell this to the Jamaican people. When the only position I wanted in the UIC was to simply sell Mr. Patterson and the movement to Jamaica. So even for the communications director, is Joseph Patterson saw how I was speaking to the people in December on the Facebook Live. And in one bus, Joseph said, Marvin, I'm going to make you my communications director. I'm going to make you my communications director. You hear me say, Wayne? I did not ask for a position. I marched downtown before I was even a member of the UIC. What me say, look well. March before I was even considered a councillor candidate. And I marched and me, Irie FM, interviewed. And when Joseph Patterson was locked up, for those of you who don't know, and I talk about people who want to usurp people, when Joseph Patterson got locked up, and we had to face the tear gas, you hear? When the Andrew bad boy police them did a spray power way. After spray and the pepper spray, I watched police spray pepper spray our face. Me and the whole of the Rasta man them from Hanover, them remember they were telling us. We walked from downtown to Crossroad up at Hero Circle. Marlon, the same Marlon Wemakusa was the one who was leading the march. And me was just the vice in the back. I said, my body, my choice, because we were resolute. When I was not a member, I was just a Jamaican citizen who found a movement that was positive for the Jamaican people. Me not have nothing against Joseph. I would never, ever, with God as my witness, we and Mr. Talk for national team, make God kill me if I would ever want to usurp Joseph L. Patterson. The man has a brilliant mind. And I would never try to equate myself with him on those levels. Yeah? Mr. said the man would have been a beautiful leader, but his character, the real Joseph, came out a few days ago. And I was shocked when I realized that the man, you know the one problem when the man started here with me now? I made a suggestion in the group when the Delano, the young man, the Delano story, the young man, the poor youth, where this supposed to probably hear about him. Yeah, I made a suggestion in our general group, and I said, guys, what is the UIC doing? Because I started to get a little frustrated that we were not going to touch the major topics that come up in the news that needed our footing. We needed to be there to play our foot as a third party so that Jamaica can see so we are doing something. Yeah? Yes. Jamaica needed to see that the third party come out. And even we have this policy where Joseph said, no, we don't believe in no handouts to the Jamaican people, because the truth is it is wrong politics, because it forces politicians to thief, to give in order to get votes. We did not want to do that. We wanted a Jamaica where we can all, and we still want that Jamaica, where we all come together. And if the football field, if we want to contribute to the football field or do something for, let's say, a community center, the community comes together and we all go paint a goal post. We go get everybody get a weed whacker. We all do it together, because when we all do it together, we then see the true value. So when I got that lesson that was learned, I learned that lesson from Joseph Patterson, and I thought that it was brilliant. I love every single brethren. Jamaica, me love every God thing about the movement. But then it just got out of control. I made a statement in the group. Guys, what can we do for the Delano? Can we do something in cash or kind? K-I-N-D. I went as further, and I can screenshot these messages, Wayne, send them to you, because when we come on this platform, we don't have time for the grow on the bush business.
I know straight up where, with us reason straight up. I
want Jamaicans to see the facts, because the heap of talk and story and drama queen business, me not depend it with. It would be so nice. It would be so nice if we could come together and understand each other and respect each other and don't pretend like you're above. And I put it in there. So what can we do? Because I know we're not doing anything. And Jamaica need to feel us. The man got so upset and started attacking me. Anybody want to follow Marvin Edgar can go. Anybody want to follow me? We simply ask you, yo, what we are going to do as a party, right? Tell a story out here. And we need to expose the government that the young man, he's a part of the PATH program, something that we don't talk about in Jamaica. In order for you to be qualified with the PATH program, and I don't want to stray, I just want to make something, I really need to get this out here. In order for you to put them with the Jamaica PATH program, we get a little, must say 3 or 2,000 or whatever they get, or 4,000. A month time, or every 2 months, or whenever they do get it from Jamaica. People come from the government to the homes of these individuals. You cannot have a flush toilet. You have to have a latrine toilet to be qualified. You cannot have a fan. You can't have a fan. You're not allowed to have a refrigerator. You're not allowed to have a gas stove. If you must be beneath poverty in order to qualify for the PATH program. If me I tell
yes.
Anybody who the PATH program, please type in a chat if I lie me I tell. That is the qualifications. When for that situation, I saw it as an opportunity where, as a third party, we could have gone to that young man, Delano, and exposed the government that look at the conditions, that Jamaicans are living in. But now everybody wants to go to that young man and help out Delano. The truth is, there are thousands of Delanos in the country. There are thousands of Delanos, and a one. So I do support. We should not give cash or kind, but I believe wholeheartedly that as a party, we needed to have made a footing and show the Jamaican people that we are seeing the news, we are feeling the people, we're not giving handouts, but we're highlighting the fact that we're supporting people and begging people to vote for us so that we can change the present system, that every Jamaican can have liberty, can live in a clean environment, and everybody can earn. And that manifesto and that plan still exists. That's why I'm wearing my shirt this evening, because I now come out of UIC. Why am I not leaving? I'm not leaving because the truth is the foundation is solid. Joseph Patterson founded the movement, and no matter who finds it has now garnered flesh. Yeah, so he came up with a skeleton. It put on flesh win, and it now has life. It have other council members, and we have to do things by the book. If you, as a president, tender your resignation, you've tendered your resignation, not once, but twice, and you misled an entire organization, and you then came and said that people are trying to usurp you. You asked for monies that we didn't have. You win. Never be honest with your win. When you interview Joseph, me never like if I say, yo, call me up. Because the truth is, I want to.
But hear this now. No. Listen, let me tell you. Just hold on. Yes, when Joseph talk to me no want to talk to no ghosts and them things. I like when name call better. We don't know some straight, you know. So when you talk, you just explain to me. I like when name call. So if your name call, you're the culprit, you know, me have a fling fire upon you. Because that's something about me. Just make you explain yourself. So you understand.
Hey, me no mean for cut your Wayne or Marvin. It's when you call the name though, you need to understand so we are yardy, you know.
Good, me understand that. But like, no.
Well, I know Wayne. Well, I'm
first. When a man talk to me personally, me like evidence a thing like where they send it to me personally, right?
Yes.
So me like the things, you know. And if you talk to me,
me love that boy, you Wayne.
Listen to me again. So you make up a little double story. Can me listen to people, you know. But me like draw from my things and me suss out some things. So when you hear me dissect things,
big up.
I listen, I like see me things them too. So
big up.
I mean, just stay on this way. If you not call name, you could have talked some Batman or Robin, some cartoons. You know what your name. And then if
all right.
I don't have no problem with that.
Me want you to do me a favor then. What are the Marvin? It's important.
Yes.
You say right thing, Wayne. It clearly stated yesterday. Say Marlon are the one where run people out of the group them and take over the group them. I send you a screenshot. Did it not show you say a Joseph Patterson run out Marlon out of all I group them?
So I see this one and this group, I'm gonna tell you where it name too.
Name the group them.
Joseph Patterson remove you. Yeah. Open this Joseph Patterson remove you from the 10 catching UIC group. Let me see that one again.
Continue long.
Patterson remove you. Okay, so that one it has show me one who would remove. I'm gonna tell the name this is the same catching one too. So it has show me. Let me see that one, you know. Get well, let's see some text and some other things. So we can't say Joseph Patterson remove some people from that group. And some other things, right? So I see him remove people from the group too. So I have it in front of me. I like see things. I like Walano. Please. Yes.
Please, Walano. Let me say it now because guess why? I respect the Jamaican people them. And like me say, Marvin and everybody upon this can attest to that. If I lie, me I tell. So here me say no. May I say to the world, I am not against Mr. Patterson or the UIC. I want to see it flourish. But look, right pan it sitting where me send go show you say, send catching group, Joseph Patterson remove Marlon. L1 candidates, Joseph Patterson. UIC Liberty Action, Joseph Patterson remove Marlon. UIC Liberty Action Group 1, Joseph Patterson remove Marlon. UIC National Executive, I am an executive. Joseph Patterson remove Marlon. UIC Content Management, Joseph Patterson remove Marlon. UIC Open Discussion.
Yes. Marlon?
Yeah, all right.
And
in time out in there like interrupt me. You see, go take over me look and say, hey, boy, relax yourself. But I like that though, because when, as you said before, me know so you like the facts, and this is good. You are a no-nonsense person, yeah?
Of course.
Facts are facts. So when Mr. Patterson was on your program, the man said Marlon took over all the groups and removed him from all of them. A liar? Is that a liar or true?
It's there. It's on record. Remember, we get things on record.
The man say Marlon removed him from all the groups. So this is the on record now, the first lie from Joseph L. Patterson. As a matter of fact, right now, Marlon is a hero. Marlon is a hero because if Marlon did not act swift enough and remove Joseph from the L2 group that had most of the candidates, we would have been in ghost town right now.
He did remove him, Marvin. He took away the administrative privilege.
Right.
He left him in there.
He took away the admin, right?
All right. So Marlon, right? You have a correct.
Yeah, man, go on.
Marvin, you have to correct that now because.
Yes, let me correct that. He took away the.
Hold on, Marvin. No, Marvin. In the L2 group, me send you a snapshot, Mr. Lonesome. It shows that in the L2 group, because I saw what Mr. Patterson was doing, I took away his administrative power. Please do remember, he resigned. And me supposed to control the group with the other NEC members. He was in the group and I took a snap picture on your seat. Look at your phone. It shows that Mr. Patterson removed himself.
Yeah. Look, for true. Check it, Wayne.
Okay.
Because we need to set the record straight. We need to set the record straight. So the truth is, Marlon did not remove Joseph. He only tried to save that group by taking away the administrative privilege because he was no longer the president. The man tendered his resignation twice. So once
so let me get to this now. So what is you people conclusion and the resignation? Now it's done. What do you believe him should do now, or what people should do? We just think it's still standing. Him resign as a president. Him supposed to remove himself. Just tell me what you people think.
This is what I am going to say. I'd like to talk.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Go ahead, Howard. I'll speak after you.
Okay, so we are for the people of Jamaica.
Yes.
I don't care about Howard McDonald or Marvin or Marlon. The fact that you're working for the people of Jamaica is what I'm concerned about. Okay, so he removed himself. We think the UIC should go forward. And as I said before, Mr. Patterson created the United Independent Congress. And we are happy and wholeheartedly satisfied with all that he has done. But the movement of the UIC was not created for Mr. Patterson. It's created by him, but not for him. It was created for the people of Jamaica. And we need to stand up of the people of Jamaica to ensure that what the UIC stand for, and the manifesto, and the Constitution, we need to abide by it. You can't have a leader who will not follow. He leads everybody, but the NEC, or the National Executive Council, is above Mr. Patterson. And you resigned with the NEC. You did not resign with the L2 group or all these content management group. Is the NEC that you resigned from? And if you resign and we accepted your resignation, that means you're no longer the president. As such, I want us to move forward with the people. We need, look, the bickling in a public domain right now and the baggage we're putting out there, it's not right. We need to come together again. to ensure that the Jamaican people profit from this. I am tired. I'm moving back to Jamaica. Right now, I'm in the States, but I'm tired. And the reason why I want to come back from the diaspora is because the crime rate and the manifesto and the constitution that's going to give us the right, liberty, life, property, no fraud, no force. We have to ensure that we uphold that right of the Jamaican people. And in doing so, we're going to make Mr. Patterson, be him here or not here, one of the greatest minds. And I tell him, you have a great mind, but your heart has to be in the right place. You know, nobody wanted Mr. Patterson to leave. Nobody wanted him to leave. But we need to rebuild this. And it shows right here to the Jamaican people that we're going to ensure if there's any form or signs of corruption or breaking of the Constitution at the top, we're going to deal with it. We want to clean the house from the top. What we do in Jamaica is we clean the house from the bottom, and the corrupt politician stays at the top. We need to fix that. And we're showing the Jamaican people that we can fix it here. And we're going to be a party for the people, even without me. Because things can happen to me, but the UIC must grow. We're going to be a light, not only to Jamaica, but to the world, to say, look, we need to take back our rights as people. And that's why I'm still a part of the UIC, not because of a person. I told Mr. Patterson in front of his face, I am not going to coalesce around a person. I'm going to coalesce around the idea. Because people come and people go. And I said that 2 months ago, and within 2 months, the man resigned. That means people come and people go. So who would be our leader? And I suggested to him that we need to have somebody in place to put there. So if anything happened to it, look, the president of the United States, Joe Biden, he has a vice president. So if anything happened to him, they have things in place to make sure that the party goes. When you have businesses, they have contingency planning to ensure that the business survives, the CEO, the CFO, all that stuff. We have to put things in place, right? Yes. And I think as a movement, and I told Mr. Patterson, he said some bad things about me, and I told him, I sent him a text, I said, look, I have forgiven you because you're a man and I'm a man and we make mistakes. But the UIC should be bigger than me, bigger than Marlon, bigger than Marvin, bigger than Mr. Patterson. As I said before, he created it. He didn't create it for himself. If that was the case, I wouldn't be a part of this. He created for the people of Jamaica. And I support this movement because it's for the people of Jamaica, basically.
Howard. Mr. Lonesome.
Howard, your stand is resign if supposed to just vacant the seat and make the UIC move forward, right? That is your stand.
What I'm saying is, we would prefer, and this is me personally, I can't speak for the other members.
May I ask the same thing? Yes.
Yeah, I can't speak for the other members.
Yes.
I was kind of surprised when Mr. Patterson resigned. We didn't want him to resign. We wanted the man to succeed. We wanted the movement to succeed. And we coalesce. Right now?
Yes. To go forward.
Right now, right now, I think what we need to do is find somebody competent, because I definitely want a position, never even thought of it. We need to find somebody competent to continue the movement because Mr. Patterson has resigned. No members you're seeing right here want anything about no presidency because Mr. Patterson does an excellent job in the public domain. It's how he deals with his inner circle, right? And that's what all of us have a problem with. We had a chairperson. He did the same thing. He resigned. He resigned before this, you know. I think about twice before. I'm hearing that he resigned because he wanted to get rid of the chairperson. And then he resigned again. So it's a ploy that he uses to say, okay, give me a vote of confidence. I need to get rid of this person or that person. The minute you question the man and show him that you're an independent thinker, you're not a sheep, he can't control himself. It's just ego and power. I don't want no power. I can be on the sideline doing accounting. I've been an accountant for about 20-something years, a certified public accountant, right? But I'm no fool, so he has to understand that you have to listen to people, listen to the pulse of the people, and how you deal with the people. If you're dealing with us like this, how are you going? And we're people in your council supporting you. How are you going to deal with the Jamaican people?
All right, so you're moved. You know, you want somebody else to fill that seat. What you say, Marvin?
To be honest with you, because personally, let me set the record clear. Me no want it. I don't want it. Even if it is handed to me, I would decline it right now because it needs to have a level of competency, which I personally know I don't possess at this time. Yeah. I don't know what the future looks like, but as it stands right now, I just want to be the guy who sells the UIC to the Jamaican people. I want to be the youth who taught to the ghetto youth and make them and break down the 10-point plan and make them understand what I'm going. I want to be the one who out that bonfire on the hypocrisies in this country. Joseph Patterson, if Joseph Patterson was just humble enough, to be honest, and I'm going to tell you, because I heard him come and try to slaughter me in here. So even right now, I am literally thinking of suing Joseph Patterson for defamation of character. Nothing that he said about me yesterday was true. Absolutely nothing. They have never paid attention. And I sent you the screenshots to your phone. I sent you, I'm going to play. I sent you proof. Me not deal with that. Checking up in the WhatsApp. Yeah? And the story
so what you think?
I don't want to talk about that story.
Not Virginia, what him think? What you think? Him should just him resign, him to remove himself or what?
Yes,
what you think?
yes, he should go.
So I'm talking about Virginia now. What you think now, sir?
We're talking about Marlon.
Marlon, man.
All right, Wayne. Do you know the reason why? You know the reason why I end up holding on to the L2 group?
Explain.
Mr. Patterson teach me. You see, everything we're doing right now, what Marvin is saying, what Howard is saying, what Paulette is saying, Mr. Patterson would drive around the country in a 7-day one time to every single parish. And we chat to Mr. Patterson back and forth about everything. From water, light, food. He's teaching us what we should do when it comes to Jamaica. We know what we're doing now.
Okay. So when
he teaches us. Hold on, no. I am stuck between a rock and a hard place. And here's the rock and the hard place.
Yes.
Mr. Patterson, I respect incredibly. But he himself clearly stated that no one is above the Jamaican people. You know what it means by Mr. Lonesome? The way how Mr. Patterson designed, the way how Mr. Patterson designed the UIC, you, Mr. Lonesome, can come turn president for UIC.
Yes.
You hear me, I say?
Yeah.
No. This is me now with my resolute. If I am supposed to say Mr. Patterson should be the president, then I'm disrespecting the UIC. I'm disrespecting the Constitution. I'm disrespecting the manifesto. I am disrespecting Mr. Patterson himself. I am disrespecting the NEC. I am disrespecting every single council candidate that knows that I speak truth. Every single one of them knows I would have been a liar if we sit up here and say that if we never follow the rules and regulation of the UIC and said that Mr. Patterson resigned and it was accepted and he tendered his resignation, went in a meeting and said he's gone, then we need to bring back every single council candidate where Mr. Patterson run with. We need to bring back every single NEC member that Mr. Patterson run with. Mistress Paulette, Camille, Mr. Carr, Mr. Lug. I can go down the names of list that I had to do, and me, him give them the duty there too. A gentleman came in the group, and because he was telling people, mind on the business, uno forgot canvas for himself. He never cursed. He never used an indecent language. He was just upset that persons was telling him he need to pull down in sign them where people put up in a community because he might get licked by KSA or whatever because of where him live. And he must say, stop watching me for campaign. And Mr. Patterson said, man, I don't like the way you were going about that. You know, we had a meeting, myself too, and the chairman and Mr. Patterson. And they said to him, you need to apologize. And the man said, no, Mr. Patterson, but I was being attacked. I'm not going to apologize. Mr. Patterson said, get him out. There was a DRC call that we called a resolution committee where we called the gentleman in there. And the man was so ashamed. It looked like the man just left every group. automatically man just get resigned. No, if the man left the group, him just left the group, you know, and we automatically kick him out of everything and him resign. And Mr. Patterson sat down in front of his computer and type out something that's long, like 9 pages. You're going to tell me that Mr. Patterson never thought about what he was doing? And then Mr. Patterson now come back and then he sent another resignation letter after we gave him what he wants, saying immediately in done. And who I know how Mr. Patterson is, he thought about it. He knew what he was doing. You know what I was hoping? That even if he mad and we wait for him until the 21st, he would have come back. The man said with immediate effect. And we had to step into the role that Mr. Patterson has been training us for. When groom with her, talk to him, ask him personal questions. To follow the Constitution, build the UIC. Just in the case of Mr. Patterson had passed away, we'd have to build the UIC. We'd have to continue. And if we say that we're resolute to the Jamaican people and no corruption should be there from head to tail, and Mr. Patterson did something that he knew was incorrect and he then resigned, are you telling me now to breach the Constitution, come here on national TV and come lie?
Okay, so your thing is, yes, he must step away, right? Paulette.
Hey,
I don't hear something from like anything at all, you know.
Mr. Lonesome, hold on there. I sorry, Paulette. Me just want one thing, Mr. Lonesome.
Marlon, let's Paulette.
No, this is important. One second, Howard.
Go ahead.
1 second, this is important. Mr. Lonesome.
Yes.
Between you and I, sir, the evidence that I gave to you about me controlling the groups, them, did me clarify myself, sir? So me not control the group, them?
No, if I come see where you get removed and everything, so I see these things. So
thank you, sir.
Let me talk to Paulette. Yeah, Paulette.
Yeah, man.
Yes, Paulette.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Lonesome.
Yes.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be on your program. I have not ever done these things. I stay away from these things. Even as a VP of the UIC, I had tried my very best to stay away. Nevertheless, when we were doing our marches, I did what I had to do, which was if I had a march that I was responsible for, I took the mic and I did what I had to do. To answer the question that you're asking now, what should Mr. Patterson do? I am going to say to you that in the state that Mr. Patterson is at, how he has breached this inner circle, can we work with Mr. Okay, no, let me say this again. All right, let me clear this up now. I was kicked off the NEC. So I am here as a past member of the NEC. So I was going to say a while ago, should we keep him in the NEC, and realizing that I'm not in the NEC, right? I am no longer an NEC member. And I became no longer NEC member in December of last year, when being one of the persons who is responsible for the finance. I was responsible for finance before Howard came as treasurer. And we were going to do a bliss. And when the bliss was announced, I asked for a budget. When the budget was presented, the budget was nearly everything we had in the kitty. I said, hell no. I mean, what are you guys doing? Can we afford this? So I questioned it. And I felt that it was a bad decision to use up all the monies that we had, knowing that in February, if things had gone as was being planned, there would have been an election. So I felt it was a very bad decision. And I challenged the decision. And Mr. Patterson was very upset that I challenged the decision. And so what Mr. Patterson did, because I challenged the decision, he did a round robin, called a meeting, and Carlene Ramirez, who had just become a vice president in about 12 days, she moved a motion. Clearly, it was already planned that I be removed from the NEC, which was seconded by, I think, Mr. Patterson. And whoever was there voted that I be removed from the NEC because apparently I was too vocal. Now, when I came on the NEC, it was after many years of Mr. Patterson reaching out to me to be a part of the UIC. I didn't have the means or the will to be a part of it. I was working all sorts of things. So in July of last year, July of 2020, when I saw the opportunity to serve, I said, when he asked me, it was a very iffy thing because, I mean, this is very risky and I'm not a politician. I had to ask my husband, And my husband was kind of like Paulette, you know, but my husband is the sort of person who is going to support me. And even when things look sticky, if he thinks I'm very passionate about something, he's going to support me. So he allowed me and allowed our family to join the movement. And I did. And I gave it everything I had, Wayne. I mean, I gave it everything I had. I mean, I loved Joseph's idea. But, and so we worked hard together. So when the motion was moved for me to, okay, no, let me go back again. I was removed. This was my second slate on the NEC because before that, I had resigned. I had resigned because we had a march, which he felt some things were mishandled, and he berated me in the meeting. And I said, with immediate effect, I'm out of here. I didn't even give him notice because there's something you do not allow people to do, and you do not allow people to berate you or to trample you under their feet, because what they're trying to do is to break down your sense of self. And when people destroy your sense of self, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to confidently move in the world. So I said, no, thank you, goodbye. So I don't think he expected me to do that. So he came back, he spoke to me and he said, Paulette, you know, I didn't really expect that, didn't anticipate that, you know, this is why I was upset. And we talked about it. And he said, Paulette, will you come back? And I said, sure. No, I came back, and I didn't come back as a VP because I resigned as a VP. I came back as community and development person, which is fine with me because I love community and development. And let me tell you, because as I said, I went on not because I wanted power or needed it, but because I felt I was standing in a gap until I find the right people to fill those positions. So that's how I started with the UIC. So when I came back in that position, I came back because I wanted to serve. During the time of being a part of the NEC, I have always been a thorn in Mr. Patterson's side, so to speak, because I am one of those people who ask questions. I ask questions, and I'm not necessarily going to agree with all the things that you say. One of the things that Mr. Patterson had in our 10-point plan that I was particularly against was where we were going to find past dead or alive politician and bring them to justice from 1944. I said, Jamaica don't have money for that. Furthermore, that does sound too vindictive to me. We have enough politicians right now to go deal with, figure go back in 1944, figure look on what evil they did in order to bring them to justice. So I thought that was not advised, but past that. So we have had a lot of back and forth, Mr. Patterson and I, but I felt there was a lot of respect, you know. I certainly had a lot of respect for him. I've never tried to disrespect him, never. However, so in December now, when I was booted off the NEC and removed, because as Marvin has explained, that's just how he operates. When he has made a decision, he removes you from your position with immediate effect. If it happens, it happens. So the pattern of Mr. Patterson's behavior is one that is very dictatorial. Let me just put that out straight. Oh, and so I sent him a text.
Yes. So we call it we just said dictator and done, right? Can we just talk it straight?
Why, brother, dictator, dictatorial, same thing.
Yes,
the man is a dictator.
All right. Okay.
All right. And the man do not respect his inner circle. When I was leaving, you see, I wrote an exit letter. And I told them, I said to them, oh God, I'm not going to try. The UIC is going to survive this, but it's Jamaica. I know you guys want us to not talk about something because you feel like we're washing our dirty laundry in the public space. But the truth of the matter is this could have been dealt with otherwise had Mr. Patterson not come into the public space. Now, when you come into the public space and you defame people, expect us to defend ourselves. We're not going to allow you to defame us and to class us without coming into the public space to defend ourselves. So that's why I'm here, right? He brought it here. So basically what I'm saying to you is that I wrote in the letter, I said to him, we had a young man in our group who worked tireless. I mean, the man gave 150%. And I will not call his name. Because if he wants to stand up for himself, he can stand up for himself. I'm not standing up for nobody. I'm standing up for myself, right? So The man give 150%. The man sent us a resignation with immediate effect. The man said, him going to look about him wife and pick in business. We had to just accept it because that's what he says is his resignation. That's what he said. So he left. And when I looked at, I said to myself, you know, there was not even a tear shed for my brother there. There's not even like a effort make for go back for him to say, boy, the man that they give 150%, you know, we're really gonna go back for him because he's such a valuable part of the UIC. This man, I remember calling him and I said, how do you do this? Do you work? Because 24 is like him on top of everything, him way above us, him write the various constitution, he went through the various ministry, through the information, he went through the great research, he did everything. When that man left, it was not even a tear, even try and bring him back. Now, you tell me, if that man can leave and we survive, with all that he has done, with all that he has given, he got to give his money, he gave his time, he gave his resources. Why then are we saying that Joseph L. Patterson is indispensable to the UIC? He is a brilliant mind and we respect him as a brilliant man, but we will not support a leader who we believe that will not only disrespect us, but will not necessarily have our back. And we are going to be, as people in his inner circle, we don't even know his loyalty to us. His loyalty is to himself and his family. And that is fine. So what we must be loyal to, I am loyal to the Jamaican people. First of all, I'm loyal to myself. I said this to him personally. I said, you defend your family, me defend mine. Every man must stand up in the gap. I don't need you to be my savior. I don't need you to deliver me. I will deliver myself. Constitution of the United Independence Congress is what we must rally around. The people must know that there's a constitution that we live by, that we stand by. How do you go out and is now saying that your constitutional right has been violated by this government, and then you violate the constitution of the UIC? If you cannot keep the constitution of the UIC, how are you going to keep the constitution of Jamaica? The constitution is you. The constitution cannot be you, because every time if you change something, we're going to have to change with you. From my position right now, if Joseph has resigned, he has resigned. We will survive. And all the people who are crying and think that we can't, every organization, there are many organizations before this, that people feel like you can't live without them. You have church board where people resign from church board because them in the church, but the church continued. And sometimes the church expand. There are many bright young people in Jamaica, bright minds, young men who are willing to give it their all. You see, Marlon, give it 150%. And you come here, you slaughter Marlon, and you expect us to now have confidence in your leadership? Hello? This ain't gonna happen. So my position is Mr. Patterson has resigned.
Oh, so resigned. So you know, so come back and then she make him answer to that. I'm gonna tell him resign, and the people right, them the board and the past members and everybody said no, you draft a constitution and it said this and you have to stick by it. So you know, if I'm gonna say draw it up, I'm not gonna read it, I'm gonna see it and everything. So I'm gonna live by that. So I'm gonna call him back. I'm gonna have a next talk with him too, you know. Have to. I'm gonna have a next talk with you people again. You understand?
Mr. Lonesome.
Yes.
You know, say, when you hear me just tell you, say, if you want to be president of UIC, and I joke me that make, you know, me mean say, as some Mr. Patterson create the thing, you know, brother. You see, as long as you as a Jamaican qualify you as a member of the UIC, you have all opportunity to be. And the way how he taught me is that, look, you see the gentleman, the gentleman that Miss Paulette was just talking about, me I gotta tell you this. I hear a lot of people commenting about the 10 years of Mr. Patterson. I can tell you this. No one will never know about Mr. Patterson until September of this year. All of the talk where everybody attack. Let's speak truth. Let's speak truth. So you know who wanna yeah. Me I say no, well, on Mr. Lonesome. The reason why me have to say this. Yeah. There's a gentleman by the name of D-Meds. That the man is one of the sole individual will make UIC start grow. So everybody's talking and talking and talking. But and D-Meds, yes, he was a little bit disrespectful, but him need a quarrel about where the Jamaican people them forget. And Mr. Patterson got say, yeah, Marlon get rid of him instantly. Me have to move him from every group. Because why? There was a rule and regulation in the UIC that clearly states if you can't function with certain things in a certain group, you're removed. This was created by Mr. Patterson. So why is it that why is Marvin that is sitting in front of you now said one thing and immediately he was the director of communications and the following day not come to the NEC, but every part of Marvin's leadership was stripped from him. Marvin can't say nothing, him have to hold that. That is what is happening. And we're saying, if we're out here coming on national TV saying, we want this for Jamaica, then say if you practice at your yard before you practice abroad, that's how we do that. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. And if a gentleman right now who we're talking about, who sacrificed 150, who basically developed almost every arm right now that we're filling individuals to hold those arms, resigned, and he was taken out of everything immediately.
Right. So, Award. Yes, man.
Yes, I'm still here.
No, Mr. Lonesome, never came in the group. We never came into the open, and I'm done after this. We never came into the open with this, Mr. Lonesome. We sat down. We sat down and was waiting. Mr. Patterson came to the open. We never wanted this out here, sir. We wanted to fix it.
Okay. Award, what's the last saying, Award, on this? So the final thing is Mr. Patterson resign. So you people want to look, our next leader now and move the party forward. Right? What you saying, Award? What you think on that?
This is what I have to say. And as I said, I have my own personality and I'm different. Mr. Patterson can still work with the UIC now, but not at the level he's at now. He would be a great marketing person for the UIC, but we need somebody competent, somebody who's passionate, and somebody who we believe can lead us or lead Jamaica into a new dimension. Because right now, we're static. If Mr. Patterson did not, right? If he did not go on in the media and coming on your show, coming on our show, and calling people's name and stuff like that, we said, and I pushed it, and you can ask them, I said, look, we do not need to go out there and put dirty laundry out there. If Mr. Patterson did not come to you, Mr. Lonesome, and start talking stuff about people's family, it would not have been out there. We wanted to settle it, and we did settle it, and we did agree to pay him. He decided he didn't want it. He decided he wanted to get rid of those of us that disagreed with him. The folks that agree with him are the 3 people that vote with him. Right? He kept them. They resigned. And I said to Marlon, I said, look, this is a ploy. It looked like this man is a politician. He has practiced this before. He acts as if he resigned, but he's not resigning. Right? So he makes you feel like, okay, he's the only competent person. Look, Mr. Patterson can speak. But may I tell you something? Me no need to talk to Mr. Patterson or talk like Mr. Patterson for the Jamaican people understand me. And they get on my group now. You see what I said? So if him thinks that everybody gonna depend on him, nothing no go so. When me hungry, Mr. Patterson now feed me. Right? But we're saying that the Jamaican people need help. They have been tricked by past politicians for the 78 years. All the time. You make promises. And this, 30 years ago, even 30 years ago when I'm in Jamaica, you say anytime election time, you say politicians come around, I put a fixed pothole, a fixed stuff. They come to Jamaica recently and I'm do the same thing. What is this pothole business? Oh, me I fix the street because more you vote for me. Never give some money because more you vote for me. And they buy votes. You know why they buy votes? Because they have suppress the Jamaican people from achieving what they want to achieve. So you keep them down and you give them handouts. But Jamaican people are smart. They want to work, right? Jamaican people want to work. So what I'm saying is, if he left, he should allow the movement to grow, support the growth of the movement. You know, we're not
no, because you said one left, but that's the last word. Marlon, what you say? We love saying because you know, we're going over like what? Yes.
You hear me? Marvin.
Yes, Marvin, sorry.
Marlon. This is Marvin. I don't want to think of me a Marlon, because there's a Marlon a ringleader. I'm me the second one.
Marvin the leader. Marlon.
Joseph said, I am the second one. Joseph said, I am the devil. As a matter of fact, he cannot go to Old Harbor. He cannot go to Old Harbor and make that statement. And I'm telling him, he never dare do that. Because for every single person in Old Harbor who knows me, the level of respect in Old Harbor, I am the only person who can go up right now against Everett Warmington, and I can win without even campaigning. And I can tell that public to Jamaica because of all the Jamaica people down at Old Harbor know me. So me a good pitney come from good table. Me no need to go around that. Me a good pitney. I me never see myself in the politics. So people know people who are honest and true. And this is what I am to the Jamaican people. Yeah? When I have hurt myself because I get up every day and I try to put myself out there to help some people, and it turn around and bite me wicked. Maybe me and you can discuss that. You can come on your program when we can talk about Marvin. Because I am that kind of person. I'm not afraid to tell you anything about me. Anything. I am an open.
Can them your CV, but not right now, next day.
Yeah, no, me want open, but me not a CV. Me only Marvin. Me not a CV.
That's the man with the history of your CV, you know, the man with the history, man.
Yeah, we know, man. Just a play with it. But I want the best for the Jamaican people. Can you just imagine if this present council that stands up against the Joseph Patterson, who is such a great person, can you imagine if this was the council in the parliament presently against Andrew Holness? Huh? When we would have objected to the 320 million that he gave to the DPP to make office. When we would have objected to $3 billion to make parliament, when teachers and nurses and doctors and our policemen and our soldiers don't have the money, our nurses who look after sore foot and all kind of sitting and risk their life every god day, run all kind of disease, not have the money. Can you just imagine if we were the council? We are simply saying, the UIC, we don't care who you are and how great your mind is. At the end of the day, you have to show respect for us. And we're simply saying, don't do that to us, where we're good people, and you come in the public, and you make certain accusations that tarnish our character and put a target on our back where people want to kill me because they must say, yo, Joseph Patterson, the one who get locked up here. I got locked up, and that's the last time you spoke to me.
Yes.
Do you know Joseph Patterson came into the meeting the other night and he said that my lockup was a fake arrest. How I came to court, the man said. The witnesses.
Remember asking something though. With the lockup, you just want to feel amused and nice. With your lockup now, because you take yourself care of yourself gone up. Where you go again? Jamaica House?
Oak Road, right out across from Gardner. No, listen. I mean, I know you want to hear that. So, and you know, it is so sad because prior to me going there, John, I'm communications director. So, I mean, usually, I've done it before, and I said, let me do before I went into UIC, you know. This is something and then first, I do it, you know, but because I was communications director at the time, acting, according to them. Acting communications director at the time. I mean, I really care about the time. I consulted my chief, who was Joseph Patterson, said, sir, we want to go do this in a mention because I was upset about the rulings that the DPP had made on the Floyd Green because you know, so him need to go because Floyd Green and the Enzinga King. I thought that it was unjust and knowing me. So I say, yo, listen. We can't sit down.
You talk to him before you match.
Of course, man. Joseph Patterson needs to come here and clear. As a matter of fact, we don't have to do that because we have the text message them. And the man said, Marvin, I support you. Do what you have to do. Let me say, look well.
So when you want match as a man for us stand up.
Because usually I don't need a team of people. I am very effective enough. I need that. And I went to
when you go up there, you tell me, you know. But why you tell the people? What the police said to you when you're up there?
What do you mean the police said to me? Police come and drive up a jeep. Hello, what you doing there? What you doing? Right? I mean, I look for him and I say, I want the boy you know, say Marvin and Dominic, I know, say me know me right. I know, because number one, I was not in the road. I tried to obstruct traffic because them can't come with all kind of things.
You
Eh?
never in the road. Me never say me never in the road.
Man, come on, that dear. What you doing there, sir? What you doing? And by the time I could get a chance to tell the man, say, I am exercising my constitutional right, the right to buy. You got a permit? Put the black card in the box. And him like, so I said, am I under arrest? Don't resist, you know. Say, hold on for my hand. Somebody said, am I under? No, you're not under arrest, but don't resist. I am not under arrest, but don't resist. So I don't want to resist because you know Jamaican police them and then gun. They don't want to shoot me or sitting and then you know talk to me that try to escape in a nearby bushes. Because after the report, he was trying to escape in nearby bushes on Oak Road. But we don't know bush on there. Escape in a nearby bush. Anyways, so we know when I go on, you know, I see what's going to play out. And being the intelligent person or the street smart person that I am, I decided to comply. I never resist. Him take me placard them and him throw them in the trunk, in the open jeep, when they call jump out. And him open the door and tell me to go in and him push me in and lock the door. And they
push.
You understand? And him never handcuffed me, so I had my phone on me. So I said, can I make a phone call? Because at this point I would like to make, I know I'm entitled to one phone call. I'm in need to call somebody quick because you're kidnapping me. Because you said me not under arrest. So where you can't me go, you're moving from the location and I live in it. You kidnap me, dog. So the man came me down at Alpha police station, put me on one chair for persons who then detained. It had a handcuff on the side of the chair. And them never handcuffed me. So I sit down there and wait for them to do them thing, them due process. So one sergeant woman in there, and the sergeant woman no one old woman. And I prefer if I want a young woman because she decided to search me, which is against protocols. If I want a young woman, I feel better, but we just feel uncomfortable with granny. I touch me up certain way. I never like it. I tell you the truth. So anyway, she do her thing. She do her thing. And I know that it was illegal. And take on my phone and my keys and everything. So at this time, the moment a police hold on to you and put you in the jeep, you are under arrest. I asked the man, I said, am I under arrest? Man, under arrest. I said, all right. Them not write down nothing in the station diary. So I said, all right, don't do the thing. Boops. Them decide now to send me, after them confiscate my property, them send me around a bucker, one department, one container when I'm around there, with one detective. I don't know what kind of unit, where them basically take your ID and them basically upload a new profile for you. So them do it, but when we reach on it, they
take your ID. Them take your picture?
No, they take my ID, make my driver's license to get the information from me. So them ask me what's my current address. Some say the one from the ID. It's my ID. So any address is the item address. Yeah? Boops. The detective now said, hold on, what is this young man here for? Because he saw my attire and he knows I don't eat at this. He knows that he can make me well dressed in a protest. I mean, I'm a suit and thing, you know, bossy. And him say, well, so he was obstructing traffic? No. So him say, so who and him did a protest? Him one. So how was he disturbing the peace? Where was he? So when we tell him the strategic location, you know what the detective said? The detective called him and said, oi, whoever carried a man that come here, on the car back him man want to pick him up. On the car back him man want to pick him up because he knew that they were wrong. And of course,
no, it's wrong. It's wrong. Let me tell you something, by the way. You alone are work. So if you want to tell me Jamaica, because that get me bitter, you know. That's why I'm not going to that yet, you know, because I talk about this. But let me just come back for them. Me just feel like for right on a placard, on a piece of cardboard, like, yo, when the justice system sucks.
Yes.
And me want to walk on the sidewalk and stand up and even hold it up. The police give me a when me have permission for hold up a card.
Yes. But
I want to the police.
So I was happy.
I was police, you know, me and them can't take tea, you know. If I'm going
man. That is me. That is me to win. And I thought it was a waste. It was a waste of resources.
And just sometimes waste of money taxpayers. These foolishness.
Because I am presently suing the government for it. But Joseph Patterson said in the meeting that, I keep getting emotional and everything, coming with my fake arrest. My fake arrest. So Joseph Patterson said, my arrest. Me we got Alpha police station right now where I got have a court case coming up soon with this matter. I'm gonna say it was a fake arrest. Yeah. Well, I mean, naturally it was fake.
Well, you suing them. Can they never charge you? Them let you
No, they can't charge me. Wait, it was a police inspector. Well, khaki suit. I don't know if my inspector or suit. I don't know about. But it was a female khaki suit woman who brought me back to the location where they took me up with my placards. What me say? Them have to carry me back because I look on them and say, "Oi, make sure you say we have to carry me back because I'm going to take me up now." So the man say, "Yeah, man, we will have to take you back." And at them, I say, as a matter of fact, I say, "I want the man who arrest me to carry me back." And so them say, "No." They say, "No, sir, you cannot have that request." Because so I said, "No, I him want to carry me back because we and me feel say him try to carry me back and you take me up and you don't see around." I mean, didn't want to be a part. But they brought me back. They brought me back and they gave me back my placards, everything, which means that I was within my right. And I'm gonna sue them for wrongful arrest. Of course, off the books. But no, say
already.
Oh, you mean if it's not? You could have asked that. Of course, we started that long time, Beijing. And
I may talk to you because you know them knows I'll be a friend of them when them do these things.
Yeah, man, I'm not play when it comes to them. Because if I fail to do something, then I misrepresent all the Jamaicans, and I would just be a man with just be a talk. I mean, I'm not long talking with nobody. The Jamaican government has been doing some serious injustices to the Jamaican people, and this is why the UIC was created. Yeah, it was created so that we can fight all these dictators that is in this country and the people who have mashed up and make a mockery of the Jamaican people. We need a system that cares for the Jamaican people, that is clean, safe, free. One Jamaica, united and free, and that is what we're doing. Yeah, all Joseph Patterson has to do, the man just have to do. All Joseph has to do, the man just needs to just speak the truth. I mean, as it relates to the financials, there's no way $6 million you can post on Facebook that we have $6 million and the accountant doesn't know anything about it. You know, if the accountant don't know, if the treasurer don't know anything about it, the treasurer has to have information in order to put out a report. And he can't, if he don't have it and he doesn't have access to accounts, don't come and talk, say, their personal accounts. You created a personal account for UIC because you said that the banks are giving you the runarounds to open personal account, which, to be honest with you, we can also challenge that because there was a bank manager in Old Harbour, which one of the vice presidents, the membership director, and another person who was there when they were going to Old Harbour with me, can attest to the fact that a bank manager from Scotiabank gave his bank card to say, no, I can get you guys the account. And that was months ago. I just found out that information about a few days ago. And if Tammy was here, Tammy could attest to the fact. Tammy Tellwell.
UIC will get a bank account.
Yeah, and up until now, I don't think Joseph Patterson has called.
Can I jump into that though? Can I jump into that?
Yes.
We have been making efforts to get to a bank account.
Yes.
As I said at one point, I was the person for finance.
Yes.
We have approached JN in halfway tree, and the truth of the matter is there have been some delays because of all of the documentation that needs to be done. When we started the process of the bank account, we started it with two persons, General Secretary and a Vice President. Mr. Patterson was not one of the signatories because what we felt we needed to get it open, and then we would have added other people. Because to be honest with you, he has been wanting for us to get our own account in order to relieve himself from that situation, from that possible conflict or just this question that's coming up right now. He has been wanting to resolve that situation, and it has been challenging. So I really, I'm going to have to cover him as best as I can in any situation that we want to appear as if he has done anything. I can tell you this about him. You see, when it comes on to the money, he's not the person who is going to misuse, he's going to report the money. So the only problem that I have based on what I've heard is that a report was posted on Facebook that we have $6 million, which we do not have. So I don't know if it's an inflated figure for us to look better than we are or what it is, but I can tell you that when it comes on to money, Joseph Patterson is a person of principle as it comes on to money. So the problems that we've been having with the bank account is real problems. And it's a problem because of the fact of all the information that needs to be submitted and for us to get the account going. We do have a PC bank account. It's very difficult to use it. People cannot transfer money to the PC account. It does not facilitate those things. So that's why Joseph had to then do the Scotiabank personal account because of the problems we were having. And that was only a means to facilitate the UIC to get money. So let's cover Joseph with that. When it comes on to money, we don't play with, I mean, he is just above board with those things. The only problem we have with him is he will destroy the people in his inner circle if he thinks they begin to shine more than him. Full stop, period, and the man is a dictator.
Okay, so he will destroy the full circle if you feel him.
Yes, he will. You see what he did to Marlon? You think Marlon didn't work hard in this movement?
Because a lot of people watching us, you know. So when you hear this, a lot of people worldwide, a lot of people in the diaspora. So I can say something to you, because I remember enough people watching. So one thing I was telling you, though, we don't want him out because when you say resign, so him have to just move out.
No, wait. No, nobody wanted. Nobody wanted Joseph out.
Oh, he resigned.
He resigned twice, and he said with immediate effect and by the Constitution.
He must stand by the Constitution.
He has to stand by the Constitution. Nobody asked the man to leave. Nobody asked the man resigned.
All right.
Hey, Marvin. There was if Mr. Lonesome, I don't like to talk certain things that is not facts. Yeah. Mr. Lonesome has a document that's right in front of him to show that even after he resigned, out of Mr. Patterson's mouth, his written words that he signed to, he clearly stated that we gave him an 8-1-1 confidence vote, that we never wanted him to leave. We wanted Mr. Patterson to leave. And I'm going to be straightforward with you, Mr. Lonesome. If Mr. Patterson had not came into the media, you would never be hearing about this, because them something I always stay home and try to deal with. But the reason why you're hearing all of these things and it seems like it's an infighting is because the man came here and destroyed person's character. He said some very disgusting, negative, lie, wicked things about persons. So what do you tell you? You wouldn't defend yourself, Mr. Lonesome? Me make sure I say before me even come to you, you know. Yes, you see, because of the respect, let me tell you something. You see, respect I have for you, and I like me nobody even come to you, you know. Me make sure I say me post information to you for sure. You say what me I say is factual, you know.
Me think them, you know. Me like read me think them.
And that me rate with you, though. You know, me rate with you because at the same point in time, we forward the thing, and your show say yes, it here for show up the facts.
Yes. You see, Marlon, Howard, Paulette, right? Paulette and Howard and Marlon and Marvin, let me tell you something. Mr. Patterson, have a lot of people in the diaspora, right? And they respect the UIC grow, because you know, I mentioned enough things. We have no friends, we have no donors, and all things. So you know, when we watch the party like that, and some people watch the party, we have to know so we kind of upend the party with the same kind of thing, because they don't want it to come off, because some people see it going on, and we have to make it clear because it will lose. I mean, and I'm going to do things in the money that the people run. And when I talk about Jamaica money, because it's going to go print $2,000 now when I have no value. When soon have a push up a wheel bar and we can't buy a good piece, right? You need that thing there. No, I'm a joke, because man of money now going to do it, you know. Now got to do it. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you have some people that $10 and $20 about the thing. Me buying that $20 over $3,000 that value at Jamaica.
Yeah.
You understand? So $20 and $10, it really counts. You understand? The people, somebody in Jamaica say, "Let me give you $5 and $10." I still right now in the value next week. See, and you see, the organization need money. Need money to do what it want to do, because it takes money to care. So, you know, when I remember, we have donors, a lot of donors, you know.
Yeah, but now there's a big problem. There's a big problem when.
Yes.
There's a big problem, because people still want to. The movement is solid, and we cannot negate the facts. The movement is solid.
Okay.
All these accounts that people are now going to be sending donations, just like the Facebook post that says 544 donations came in, amounting to over, not 6 million, no, over $6 million. That's the Facebook post, which you have a copy of that right now in your WhatsApp. Yep. And the Jamaica people need to say that came from the president himself who posted that. The treasurer is here, and the treasurer does not have any account of that money. And I mean, for Paulette to say this is a man who has principle when it comes down to money. He's a CPA. But is that real chartered accountant, yeah? But for her to speak of that principle and then to have this other accountant and the entire NEC who knows nothing of this $6 million, then it begs.
Marvin, let me just stick a point. As Paulette just said, look a while, when it man is, principle on certain things, on these things up front. It's a matter of principle, right?
Right.
Remember, if me a donor and I may have 540 people a donor, if him did up to something spooky, he could have just tell us he's on 300 donors because the donor they want to know one who do it. He never have to write down if a big name. So I'm going to follow after the books better. So if he never have to tell us, he could have said 3 million.
Well,
we're not disputing that, Mr. Lonesome. One second, Marvin. As a member of the executive, let me say this to you now.
Yes.
We're not disputing that, I love how Howard puts it. Howard clearly states that he only can account for 3.8 million. 2.2 million he can't be accounted for. So I don't know if that's the reason why there's a dispute, additional dispute. I will never speak on the finances because there's a treasurer for that.
Yeah.
Let me just
I can speak about what I do. He can explain that.
Let me just clarify this.
Howard talking.
No one said that Mr. Patterson took any money.
Right.
I am not on social media or Facebook.
Yes.
And I wasn't aware of Mr. Patterson posting stuff out there saying that we received over $6 million. And as a treasurer, right, wouldn't he get those numbers from me? So if you're telling me you got over $6 million, and when I presented the financial statement to Mr. Patterson and show him that we got $3.8 million, he approved the financial statements and said it was great. So when I found out after the fact that he said he got $6 million, I said, I don't know about that. I never hear about that. So it's either you lied that we got $6 million, then when you said we got 6 and we didn't, or something is amiss that I can only account for 3.8 million. And that's what I said when I was on with what was it, Unstoppable? I said, look, you should have said, Howard, this amount that you have on the financial statement is incorrect. We actually got $6 million. He explained that it was not. Yes.
That's one clarity, right?
And the reason why I asked for clarity is because I have to wait to get financial information for the Pattersons once a month, right? I have to wait, and I have to put in what we get. So garbage in, garbage out. So if I got garbage is gonna go in. What I'm saying is I was not aware of anything about no $6 million. As a matter of fact, out of the total amount that we got, about 1.7 million out of the 3.8 related to legal funds, because we had a GoFundMe in Canada, and we had been donated on the Nation Builders, and we have an area where you could donate to legal defense funds. So we have defense funds coming in, which is great. I'm just saying that I don't know where the $6 million come from. If Mr. Patterson posted it, you should have said, Howard, here it is. Because remember, I'm getting the information after the fact. Nobody said anything about Mr. Patterson stealing. I don't think that he would do that. But you can't go out there.
Yes,
Wayne.
Yes, but you say you want to come in and say something.
Right. No, I really wanted to just clear. I think Howard just cleared it up, though, because I mean, it's just unfortunate that was posted on Facebook that we have $6 million. I don't know if it is cumulative $6 million, or it is $6 million for 2021, but certainly for 2021, as somebody who works with the accounts with Howard, we did not collect $6 million. So maybe it is when him add up what he has been getting over the years, it comes to $6 million. Anyway, that would be kind of a misinformation, misrepresentation of the fact, because if that is $6 million over the period, it is accumulative figures. So you can't make it look like you have that now. So whatever that creates a kind of that creates a discrepancy that didn't need to be, and so he only can clarify what does that mean, but the financials does not support that statement, right? But we are again, not in any way casting any kind of aspersion on his name. Let him clear that up himself.
As I said before, I'm going to talk because it's time and over. I'm going to talk to you people again, but I'm going to talk to Mr. Patterson. If not tonight, I'm going to talk to him in the morning and live, and then I can carry you back. Because I want him to clear up these things like that, goes money and other things, right? And then I'm going to finish read off some of these things, and then I'll ask him some questions too. Yeah, and then you people, I'm going to carry you back tomorrow.
I want to make one appeal to the Jamaican people, and we have gotten a lot of support from the diaspora. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for the diaspora, we would have dead. Yeah. Our support is in the diaspora. Howard is in the diaspora. A last chairman that we have is in the diaspora. Many of our supporters are in the. If it wasn't for them, the UIC would not exist. So we really want to be very transparent with them, and we want them to know that we have valued their $10, the $20, the $200, the $1,000, and then we have some people. I'm going to point out some people too. Some people in Jamaica. We have a vice president. I'm telling you, she has been like, a champion. We had a chairwoman who is in the US. When we said those people give, when we said the people then give out of what? And our past chair lady is a single mother who works on her own. And when we tell her, she don't hold back nothing from the UIC. If it's security cost to cover for Joseph when we're going to Spanish Town, she cover it. She and another member of the UIC. Let me tell you, so the people then give way, then give out of everything them have. And then when I saw how Joseph dealt with some of these people, it pained me out. Not going to respect it. I'm not going to stand up for it. I'm going to stand up against something that is so unprincipled. Unprincipled.
All right, no problem. All right, so my boss will last word. Marvin, tomorrow, because I forgot to talk to Mr. Patterson. I watch my time. I never dinner yet. Dinner time. So, tomorrow,
Mr. Lonesome.
Yes.
Yeah, man, thank you.
I talk to Mr. Patterson first because I want something to get something clarified up. And then I talk back to you people. Yeah? So it's not that.
All right, Mr. Lonesome, thank you for having us, And like I said, we're on here just because we want to have some clarity. But thank you for giving us a chance to speak. It's just the clarity that we want out there because we're not. We really want the UIC for the people, then. Honestly, because by right, with what has happened, we're supposed to have, eventually, as the NEC members, we're supposed to have an emergency AMC meeting. Whether it take a month, 2 months, whatever, but prepare it for the people, the members to vote in. You understand? But there's rules and regulation based on what is happening. That's the proper channel that we should. Nobody no want a position. Have a good night.